want to say anything, I think I could. But I got so many stories to be an injustice. So our dad taught us not to cry, so if you see any moisture, it's just hot and sweat. And all of you understand. Now, I had the honor and the pleasure, and I can thank my mom for that. You see number 2 up there? I'm Jose Antonio Fernandez III, also known as the brother with a stupid joke. I had, let's see here. I got so many stories. My dad would be here all month telling me stories. About that name. If he had $1 million, I bet you I could sell him that name. Right? That was the biggest thing I had over him. You'd have to be Jose or not Rondo.
Yeah, Rondo Scott.
Yeah. But that was something I had on me all the time. And then my wife was like, I know how precious and how proud you are of that name, because it would be Jose Fernandez IV if I had a boy. Yeah. We were blessed with a beautiful girl, and my daughter was like, we're not going to name her Jose. You know, that's what I cried. Now, there's a story I want to tell you about. My dad. He had the heart of a 10-year-old boy. He was in the 70s, but he had the heart of a 10-year-old boy. Tell me that's no lie. Don't get a packet of firecrackers in his hand, because he was just going right behind people. People would jump and cuss, and to him that was the funniest thing in the world, you know. And it was funny at first, but like 3-4 hours into it, we're like, Dad, we're over it. Everybody got scared, and he just still until the firecrackers are out. He's lighting them on everybody. You know? One time, I live in California. I brought my wife to beautiful Florida, and as soon as we landed at the airport, they closed the airport because Hurricane Andrew was on its way, right? So that night, Hurricane Andrew was going to hit, and we're in Hialeah, Florida, South Florida. We tried to get some sleep, but with the ruckus and the wind and the carnage that's going outside, we woke up. This is going to be great. So we wake up, right, and then when they prepare for the hurricane, the only thing they tell you have water, but they say, don't go outside during the eye. We're all from Florida, we know about hurricanes, but just in case you don't, a hurricane's a big donut. And when the part of that donut passes by, it's a lot of wind and it's dangerous and it's blowing things away. It gets calm in the center. And people venture out from safety during the calm part, and they get caught out away from their security, and then the other half of the donut comes by, and they get hurt. So the radio, we had a little AM radio. Don't go outside during the eye. The TV, don't go outside during the eye. We're shutting down the doors, locking to the neighbors. Don't go outside during the eye. So it was windy, it's loud, it's crazy. It got quiet. My dad looks outside and goes, hey, you want to go outside? I think it's the eye. And I go, yeah, let's go outside. Now, we lost electricity. We had these 2 cheap little flashlights. You could ask Bertha or my wife. They were thrilled to death we were going to go outside during the eye. And they're, don't go outside during the eye. So we have these flashlights, and we're going, oh, look at that mailbox. Wow, look at that tree. Look at that car. And we're going like that. It starts getting a little bit windy. I go, I think we got to go back in. He goes, no, come on, let's go look. There's a big door on the dumpster. It was swinging. It was hitting somebody's car. We're going, look at that guy's car. Look at the dumpster. It started getting windier, and I'm ready to go back inside. My dad's going, come on, let's go. Look at that. Look at this. There was birds. So I dropped my flashlight, and the wind takes it. Whoosh, whoosh. I said, Dad, it's time to go inside because the thing take it. So we go run inside. My wife and Bertha are yelling, get in here, you. So they pull us inside. They lock the doors. And they're mad at us, right? They're just mad. Why'd you go outside? You're never supposed to go outside the eye. Why'd you go outside? Look at us. And me and my dad are drinking Heinekens. 3 o'clock in the morning, right? It's all dark. We have no electricity. We're drinking Heinekens. Why are you drinking Heinekens? Well, there's no electricity. What sense does that make? I go, they're going to be warm later and we can't drink them. We got to drink them. You know? So we're drinking Heinekens and we open the can of mixed vegetables. During the hurricane. So that was just the way my dad was. He's like a 10-year-old boy. You got to keep an eye on him, you know. Even when he matured, he was like maybe at best a 12-year-old boy. You know. I had the pleasure of spending his last night on this earth with him. I didn't know he'd pass away so soon. And in a way, I'm glad I didn't know. I was just kind of relaxed with him. If I would have known that they say he's going to be dead and so many, I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much, I guess. So we talked, and he didn't talk well because of some of the treatments. And he was full of needles and, the oxygen and all that type of thing. And he wasn't, you're in an emergency room, you're cold, it's bright in there. So he wasn't having the time of his life, and he still was funny. He still would come up with things. What brought him relief were ice chips. So we had to make sure he get ice chips he could just suck on. He couldn't drink fluids. So he asked the nurse for ice chips, and he goes, I got ice chips. 20 minutes go by, half hour goes by, and he says, by the time she comes back, it's going to be melted. So I'm cracking up. It was his birthday the day before, a couple days before, and at one time, like he said, flirting with the nurses, there was 4 nurses in there, and they're checking blood pressure and making sure this, making sure that. And he goes, look who showed up for my birthday party. And then he's not even looking at me, he's just like, how you doing? I mean, he was always a gentleman, but there was something about women that just completely changed him. And it was great. And then he always beat us at arm wrestling. You know what I mean? And I told my dad, I said, the treatment got him weak, he can't talk, and all this stuff. And I go, you know what, Dad, I think I could beat your arm wrestling right now. He goes, no way, ain't no way here, you know. I said, when you go upstairs, we're going to give it a try, you know. But I knew in my heart, he would still beat me in arm wrestling, you know. And I said, the old guy, he still beat me. So that's my dad, you know. He says don't cry in public, so I'm doing my best not to. It's not easy. But when I go home and I'm in my darkest, that's where I cry. I shed a tear for him because he's worthy of that. He knows how much I love him. About planting the seed. He showed all of us how to be men. He showed us, all of us, to keep our word, do what you're going to say. If anything is worth doing, you do it right.
Yes.
And he always loved people, always had compassion for people. My fondest memory when I come to visit from California is him picking me up in that Jeep. And always, we open up the hatch, I go throw on luggage in, and I throw on top of piles of rice and canned goods. And I'm like, what, you afraid Andrew's coming back, or what's going on? You know, these are always his foods that he collected to give to the church, to send to people that are hungry. Always. And he didn't make tons of money, but he always had enough to help and love on people. He was just always there. So from the time we heard he was sick to the time of his passing, it was about 3 weeks or so. And what a blessing that was. Yeah. That was better to me than him getting a phone call and hey, last night he's gone.
Yeah.
So we got to talk about our faith. I wanted to see where he was at with his faith and my faith. Yeah. We agreed on the essentials, you know, so he's in heaven. I have no doubt about it. Before, you know, I feel pretty sure. Okay, I'm not pretty sure. I know for sure.
Yeah.
A reason why I'm strong now is because I'm going to be there with him. I'm 100% sure I'm going to be there with him. And then we joked around and stuff like that. We kind of said our piece to each other, and I'm good with it. And I'm just thankful. All I can think of, instead of being sad, I'm just thankful and blessed. Yeah. A buddy of mine lost his dad when he was 14. You know, some people lose their dads after months and months of pain, and we didn't have any of that, so what a blessing that was. All right? So that's what I wanted to say. And I got more stupid jokes if nobody else has anything to say.
Yeah, we're having a reception after. You guys can hear me on the piano. You guys can hear me.
Yeah, that's right. Love you, bro.